Are we live?
We're live.
Hey, it's Chris, Homestead and Hardway, and something's been brought to my attention. Was talking back and forth with another channel we like to watch, and I realized something that a lot of people that are homesteading now or trying to do the small farming thing, subsistence agriculture, whatever you want to call it, that they've moved out in the country from town and they're running into some problems. They have some predator issues. They're needing to dispatch their livestock when it's time to put them in the freezer, and they don't know what they're doing. They've never been around it. And I'll let you do a little disclaimer right quick. This video is going to be about guns on homestead. What you really need. It's going to be about what you need to dispatch livestock and do predator control. If that's nothing you want to hear about, then just cut it off now. Go find you something else to watch. I don't want to offend anybody. This is directed at new homesteaders, people that are not gun people. So I'm not telling them to go get AK-47s and M16s, but that might be the impression they get. That's what they need if they watch some other videos. So we're going to try to set the record straight. But leave now if you don't hear about livestock being slaughtered and predator control. Okay, now we got that over with. This is a single shot 22 rifle. No scope. That's important. If this is what you use to kill hogs, to kill goats, to kill sheep, and really to kill cows, this is bare minimum to kill a cow. It will do it, but you've got to hit them right. Where you shoot animals to dispatch them is not in between the eyes. It's in the forehead. Draw a line from the ear across to the eye on each side, and the center of that X is where you aim. From the side, you can kind of tell where the brain case is. You need to pay attention because there's nothing worse than shooting something wrong. It's happened here. It's a bad deal. You want to, your goal when you have to dispatch one of your animals is to do it as humanely as possible and as quick without them feeling anything as possible. This is a single shot 22 rifle, no scope. A scope is not a good idea at 10 feet. I can do it, but I'm a gun guy. I've been a hunter my whole life. I can do it. Something else that's very important nobody will tell you. These are 22 shorts. That is the smallest 22 bullet they make. And these are hollow points. You do not want hollow points. I didn't have any solid points to show you, but do not buy hollow points. They hit the skull and flatten out and do not penetrate. That's the same with the long rifle. These are hollow points too. I didn't have any, or actually I grabbed the wrong box. But for dispatching livestock, do not buy hollow points. They will not work. Somebody might try to argue that with me, but trust me, I've been killing hogs and cows my whole life. Hollow points will not work. We've tried it, seen it fail miserably. They flatten on impact. They won't penetrate the skull. The idea is when you shoot a hog or you shoot a cow is to stun him. It's to knock him down, and then you have to cut their throat for them to bleed out while their heart's still beating. That's why you do it this way. But you need a single, it doesn't have to be a single shot, but you need a 22 rifle to dispatch your livestock with. A lot of people use a 22 Magnum. That's fine for cows, a little bit too much. It over penetrates for hogs and sheep and goats. And the problem you run into with over penetration is you may shoot him in the forehead and it travel back into his body and stop in a shoulder or stop somewhere it doesn't need to. And nothing's worse than running a spent bullet through the meat grinder. I mean, you just don't want over penetration. There's several different gauges of shotguns, 410 bore, 32 gauge, 28 gauge, 16, 12. The only two we're going to cover today is the two most popular, is a 20 and a 12. I like a 16 gauge myself, but you can't get shells for them anymore. They're not popular. We're just going to stick with 12 gauges. This is a single shot break action 20 gauge. It's actually my son's shotgun. It's unloaded. For everything else on your homestead, a shotgun is a much better choice. I'm assuming a lot of people have got small acreage, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 acres. The chances of a load of shot out of this gun traveling off of your property are pretty slim. I know if you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, you think you need a high-powered rifle, but it's just not true. What you need is something that's not going to kill the neighbor's kid across the field, in reality. 20 gauge guns are okay if you're recoil sensitive. They make 3-inch Magnum 20 gauge shells, but the recoil is getting close to that of a 12 gauge. Really, I just wouldn't even, unless it's for a kid first gun, or you're a hunter and you're using it to rabbit hunt with or something, there's an advantage. I wouldn't mess with 20 gauge. A 12 gauge shotgun, any action you want. It can be a pump. I like pump guns. It can be automatic, semi-automatic, excuse me. It can be a break action, single shot, break action, double barrel. The action choice is entirely up to you and availability. I know in some places you can't have pump shotguns. The kind of gun, the action doesn't matter. The one thing I want to caution you about, at least here in America now, the self-defense shotguns have gotten real popular with the short barrels. That's not what you need. You need something with a longer barrel and chokes. The choke end of a shotgun barrel is a restriction at the end of the barrel that makes it shoot a tighter pattern and further. They got the full, modified, improved cylinder, or the normal ones. Improved cylinder is good to about 25, 30 yards. 25 yards, we'll say 25 yards. Modified's out to about 30, 35. Full, you can get out to 40, maybe 45 with a heavy loaded shot. But make sure you have a choking in the gun. Don't buy anything with a 20-inch barrel on it. I know they're very popular now, but they're just not what you need. They're close range, they're made to throw buckshot at people, and they're just not what you need on your homestead. The thing with the shotgun is what it'll do is controlled as much by the shells you put in it as the gun itself. I'm going to let her walk over here, and I'm going to show you the difference and stuff. We'll let her show the top of these boxes. Now I know this says heavy target load on the top, but this is 7.5 shot. It's ounce and an eighth. Doesn't tell you, well, 3 grams powder, ounce and an eighth a shot, 7.5 shot size. That's it's a lot of shot, not much powder. That's what we would dove hunt with, maybe quail hunt with. In other words, small birds. Pigeons, it might be okay with pigeons. This is number 6 shot. This is high brass number 6. Maybe I should have thought this through a little better, but again, this doesn't have the amount of powder it's got in it. It's 1.25 ounce shot. They're high brass shells. This is for, well, really, these high brass 6s will kill about anything. But a normal 6 shot would be for rabbits, squirrels, groundhogs, similar sized stuff. Probably wouldn't shoot raccoons or possums with 6 shot. And there's a difference between high brass and low brass shells. And the brass, here I'm going to show you the difference here. And I don't know about the video quality. We kind of did this on the spur of the moment. It was something needed addressing. And I told somebody else to try to help them out. So this is a low brass shell. That's the dove and quail loads. This is a high brass shell. You can see the difference. These are a lot stronger.
Can't see because your thumb.
The green shells are a lot more powerful. Most time the high brass means it's got the maximum amount of powder in it. These are just a lot stronger. And these would probably take out foxes. I don't know if I try Cody with them. And these are high brass. What's left of a box of high brass number 4s. They look just like the 6s I just showed you. This is for everything else. Up to 30 yards away, a fox, bobcat, whatever. He can't stand it. Now, if you have coyotes and larger predators, this is what I like. Now, some people might disagree with me. This is number 4 buckshot. It's got a lot of pellets in it, 27 pellets. Gives you a better chance of hitting him. You get a tighter pattern, kind of a pattern with less holes in it. Coyotes, bobcats. If you hit him, he's done. Up to about 40 yards. Some people might tell you can stretch it out to 50 or 60. Maybe if everything's right, the moon's right, and the wind's right, and you're a really good shot. But there's a lot of misconceptions, and if you watch some of these gun channels, and I'm not talking anything against anything they tell you, and if you're a gun person already and you have what you like, by all means stick with it. But I just wanted to give people some basic stuff to kind of work on. Somewhere to start. If they've never had a gun, don't know anything about them, they got to have somewhere to start. But you need a .22 rifle. For dispatching livestock. And a .22 is just a handy thing to have. It'll kill just about anything you need to kill on the homestead. Predators, foxes, coyotes, bobcats, raccoons, possums, they're done. They can't stand this. I know a lot of people talk about .22s, they're weak, they're useless, whatever, but I've been hunting and protecting my stuff since I was a little kid with this rifle. This was my granddaddy's Hog Killer rifle. It was the first gun I ever received when I was a child. I don't know, it was made in 1930, still works fine, it's been looked after, and it's killed everything that walks or crawls around here. It's actually killed several deer. There's no telling how many foxes and bobcats it stuck out. I haven't shot a coyote with it because I've moved on to something bigger and better now, but the 12 gauge shotgun will cover every need you have, and it's also, if you feel like you need a gun for protection, it's also a pretty good protection gun. Nothing gets people's attention like the pump sight on a 12 gauge shotgun. Inside the house, you can load it with bird shot, the 7.5s or 8s like I showed you, and it won't shoot through the wall. It'll cut a man in half, but it won't shoot through the wall. It'll hit one layer of sheetrock and kind of disperse, and it won't take out little Johnny on the other side. I'm going to be honest with you about something. I've never felt like I needed a gun because a person was here causing a problem but twice in my life. And I'm not sure I really needed it but once. So, I don't know that personal protection is the biggest reason that you need one. But if you got chickens, you got sheep, you got goats, you got cows, if you live in a semi-rural area out in the middle of nowhere, you're trying to homestead, you're going to have to defend it against something. If you can't have but one gun, go with a .22. You can do more with it. Well, you can't really do more with it, but it's more the things that you have to do, you can do with it. It's hard to put that. It's hard to kill a hog with this 12 gauge. But the .22, if you can hit what you're aiming at, it'll take out just about anything. There's a little bit of shot placement required. You've got to hit them right. Remember, no scope. That's important. Remember, don't use hollow point bullets. That's important. And I did a little checking today. I called the Ag Extension office, and I don't know if I told you this before or not, But they're a really good source of information. If you have an extension agent, if you have an extension office in your area, use them, call them. They're more than happy to help you. But I did a little checking, and here where we're at, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. Your options when it comes to putting out livestock is gun shop, captive bolt, and that's a little metal cylinder with a rod that comes out of it. You put a 22 blank in the back of it, put it up against your forehead, and hit the button, and it shoots a rod in your skull. And we have done this in the past, and there's some people still do it this way. You can hit them in the forehead with a hammer and cut their throat. Or you can, I've seen people kill hogs this way. You can get a cutting board and jam them up in the corner. Somebody grab them and you stick them. We call it sticking them. You cut their throat and let them bleed out. That's a bad way to have to do it. I watched it. I'm a veteran at putting out livestock or slaughtering livestock, but I do not like that. It just tears my nerves all to pieces. I did a little checking today, and here we're at. The animal has to be stunned before their throat's cut. Now that can be electric shock, that can be hitting with a hammer, that can be captive bolt, or that can be gunshot. But it has to be stunned before you cut the throat. Something else I'm gonna hit on right quick, might make some people mad, but the truth's the truth. The chicken killing cones are for your benefit, not the chickens. The only thing you're doing when you shove him down in that cone and cut his head off is you're making him not flop around and makes you feel better. I'm sure the chicken would like it better if you wrung his neck and did it fast. Yeah, they kind of go in a little tupor when you turn them upside down, but it's really not helping. But they have to be stunned before you cut the throat. The 22 rifle is the easiest way to do that. But like I said, I can't say this enough. Do not use hollow point bullets. And do not stick the gun barrel right to their head. You need some distance between the gun and the animal, at least 4 or 5 feet. Don't use a 22 pistol. 22 pistols, the shorter barrel, it's less velocity, they don't work as good. And plus, I've seen people do this where they walk up and stick the pistol to their head and pull the trigger. It really is. I've seen it not work right. And the last thing you want is for it to not work right. But the 22 is essential on the Homestead for predator control. Rats, it's a good rat gun. Just about anything else. If you have bigger issues, or you are in a situation you can have more than one gun, a 12-gauge shotgun is a good thing to have. It's versatile. You can hunt with it. You moved out of the country, you got your homestead, you're able to hunt a little bit. At least in North Carolina, there's nothing here you can't hunt with a 12-gauge. There's been more deer killed with these or a 30-30 than anything else. You can change loads to slugs, buckshot. I mean, it's just very versatile. But this is what you need to put down your livestock with. And maybe that helped you a little bit. But like I said, just remember now, this is just a little quick introduction to what you need. And this is just me telling you what I found to work here. Now, I'm not telling you this is all you can do. 22 Magnum will be fine. I don't know, some of the 17s and stuff may work fine, but this gun right here has been doing this job on this farm since 1930. Cows, goats, hogs, chickens. I take it and kill chickens with it. We've got some running loose you can't catch. This will catch them. But I'm a good shot and I practice a little bit. Something else I want to point out. I bought these when bullets were so expensive, 22 shells you couldn't hardly find them. They were $8.95 for 100. Shotgun shells are, I thought I had one of these had a price on it, but they're $10 a box. That's something else you need to look at. You can afford to practice with this a little bit, but like I said, I'm rambling, so I don't want to do that. Maybe that helped you a little bit, and I appreciate you watching.